All right. KJ's here. Welcome, Drummerzone. What's up, guys? Good to see everybody. We are here back at my studio, which is R.M.I. Music Productions, Russ Miller International Music Productions. And this is a new facility, actually, I just built last year. I had another facility for 21 years in the same place. So here you are, the first area, and this is kind of the lobby, obviously. We have a few albums that I've done over the years, some trophies, I guess you would call them. One of the first would have been maybe this one, the gold Nelly Furtado. That was 500,000, but it went on to sell 9 million. I stopped getting them after a while. They'd send me the 2 and the 3, and I'm like, I get it. It's fine. Even some movie soundtracks. That was like in the day. Like, I mean, when you see a gold and a platinum selling movie soundtrack, that doesn't happen that often. I do a lot of movies, yeah. I've done almost 200. I do a lot here, a lot of pre-records here, and I mean some really big movies that were done here. Addams Family, Onward, Wonder Woman, did the other Wonder Womans, some of the superhero movies. So pre-records I'll do here, and then they'll do cut the orchestra to them onto what I already cut. And then there's some other times where I go on the floor with the orchestra. It just depends on the kind of music and what's going on. To be honest with you, film composers have got really spoiled because before what would happen is they'd have to write the whole score and do all the charts and get everything ready and organized and then call you in to record for 4 days or 5 days and everything would be there. And now they do one thing and they go, okay, put the drums on that, you know, and then they do one thing and put the drums on that, you know. So they're kind of spoiled now. Control room. This is rooms that were built inside of the rooms are already here. There's like 9-inch thick walls and it's as soundproofed as you can get. This room is designed around Pro Tools HD, HDX, the highest end Pro Tools. It is all front end, as we would say, by original API mic pre's and EQs and all Neve. It's actually the same equipment that's at Capitol or Paramount or East West or Abbey Road or anywhere like that. It's really just the same high-end equipment. The only reason to go anywhere else would really just be for the room itself, not for the gear, you know, because we have all the gear. The one thing about this studio is I don't have a room for a live piano. Whoever the player is will cut it here as MIDI, and then playing together, you know, bass, drums, and piano. And then we take the MIDI files to a disc clavier room where it's a MIDI grand piano. And we literally just play back the file on the live piano with 2 mics and just sit there and let it just record it. This room is really centered around the drums. And that's why, like, for instance, that rack, which is all API, mic pre's, and EQs, it's just the drums. I had Brad Hanel, one of the great engineers in the world, come in and get the drum sound with me. And because it's analog, it's just, you know, if you don't move the knob, it's just not going to do anything. There it is. It's what it is. I used to mix here more and more. I mixed the surround for Steve Gadd's live record here, the one they did in Rochester, and I've done a lot of the mixing for my stuff over the years. But now we've sort of conformed the room to just tracking drums and percussion and the rhythm section, and then we go to another mix studio because a lot of the engineers are building just mix rooms now. Yeah, it's very high end and it's very state of the art. The reason that I have a really high state of the art thing is mostly because of the movies. Those guys are operating at the biggest studios in the world with the biggest engineers, and everything has to just be like flawless. I can't send them a Logic audio file when they're all using HDX. They don't want to convert things and worry about things getting out of sync. They upload stuff to a server, I bring it down, put everything on it, put it back up. Like I mentioned earlier, when we came into the studio, they used to have to do all the stuff at once. In 1 week, I might have 3 TV shows and an ongoing movie project, and then if records come in, and then, you know, the live stuff going in and out. I keep a kit here, and it's always set up, always mic'd, which we'll show in the tracking room. And then I have 5 other kits all over the world. There's one here in LA that moves around. There's one in the US that moves around, and then I have Europe and Japan and Taiwan and another one in Nashville. And there's times where I have 3 and 4 kits going because one's in a truck and I'm going on a cartage thing, and then we got something here. But back in the day, I used to have 4 kits in town. You go into studios, and one would be coming out of one, we'd be going another. But, we don't do as much in other rooms as much anymore. This is a serious facility. I mean, it's a lot of money. It's a big investment. But for me, I had the clients to do it. What's happened is the business plan has changed, right? The business hasn't really changed. The business plan has changed. And that's the part that people have difficulties with. I mean, Apple started the personal computer. They sell phones now. We never used to own cameras or video editing. Now I own, 4 HD cameras and lights and video editing and all. You just got to move along and figure out what's happening and what's the next thing that's going to happen. That's the same thing in playing. You got to think about that, or you become irrelevant, and we all know those guys that are like that. I mean, they warm their hands on their legend. Like, I'm still talking about something I did 30 years ago. No, we want to talk about what you're doing right now. That's how you stay relevant.